Hi everyone, my name is Angelica and welcome to another segment of This is Biz with This is Improv. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways to gain confidence in your office. This is a topic that I'm excited to talk about because I hear it so much from my clients. They tend to worry about what people are going to think about them in the office. And it has to do a lot with what they have to say, the way they carry themselves, personal things as well. And it tends to hinder their performance at work when they're worried about saying anything in front of anyone or giving their opinion. And I've learned that these tips really help put your best foot forward in work and gain some confidence to do the best that you can do and be the best you can be. Because you're pretty awesome. So hold tight. The first way that improv can help you gain confidence in the office is by staying in the moment. A lot of the time, most of the anxiety that we feel while we're interacting with people, while we're in a situation that stresses us out, is that we're overthinking. We're complicating things in our head, and we're not really moving forward with what's going on around us in the moment. We're stuck in what might happen in the future or what we just said a few minutes ago. In improv, we really learn to listen to everyone and everything going on around us, whether that be the space that we're in, what's around us, how the chairs are laid out, what the scenery might look like in this scene that we've created on stage. We're also really paying attention to our fellow cast members. And that's because if they say something and we miss that thing in the middle of the scene, then the whole scene can collapse because we were thinking about the last line that we said a few minutes ago. So it's really important to stay involved with what people are saying in the moment. And if it helps you out, then using the affirmation game really helps me and my clients out when they're trying to stay in the moment, but they need something to latch onto. So the affirmation game is essentially paying attention to what the person is saying, and I like to call it active listening because they're nodding, they're affirming that they've heard what the person has just said in the conversation. So if Roy is saying, I'm really into cheese, then the person says, yeah, cheese is great. And you're affirming what's going on, and by paying attention to what the other person is saying, you're staying in the moment. You're focusing on Roy's love of cheese instead of whether or not you put the laundry into the dryer. Whatever it is, staying in the moment can really relieve some anxiety and help you gain confidence while communicating in the office. The second way that improv can help you build confidence is by learning to roll with it. You don't know how much I hear from clients who are rock stars, how much they practice and rehearse what they're going to say at their next big presentation, before they meet a new client or before they talk to their boss about a new idea. But they always fumble, and then that fumble turns into a waterfall of disaster for them because they put all their eggs in that basket. They prepared too much for what they were going to say, and when they fumbled once, the whole thing unraveled. In improv, we learn to go past the script. So if something happens that we didn't quite expect to happen during a presentation, or someone brings in a new piece of information that we weren't quite expecting, we learn how to move past that, how to get through that while looking like we had totally known that was coming the whole time. And here's all the information on that one thing that you brought up. If you want to learn how to roll with it on your own, I recommend Improvised Ted Talk. And it's a fun game where you show presentation slides that you weren't quite expecting and create a presentation around that. What that does is it really gets you on your feet and thinking about, okay, I want to promote this, but I'm presented with this picture that I wasn't quite expecting. How do I make this picture work with what I'm trying to say? If you want to see how Improvised TED Talk works, we have a video of how to play the game on our YouTube. Check it out. Tip number 3, finding a game in conversation. So maybe you're great at presentations. Maybe you're great and you follow the script every time and it always works out for you. But what about those conversations that you have at work? How about communicating with people at the office? If you ever feel stressed out about what you're going to say or if people really get along with you, what I always recommend to my clients is making a game out of conversations. And there are two ways to do this. The first way is by finding the game that tends to happen at your office. Now, this can be small talk. Maybe someone likes to talk about a specific thing when they initiate small talk. So you know, okay, the game with this person is they really like plants. They have a green thumb. So every time I have a conversation with them, I'm going to bring up plants. I'm going to initiate plants. And we're going to see how long we can go talking about plants in this conversation. So that's your game. Your game is plants. Now, maybe someone really loves cats, so you're always going to bring up cats in that conversation, and that's your game. Another way that you can bring a game in a conversation is by thinking about your personal game. What do you want to play today? One game that I really like playing is, can I make someone laugh today? I love playing the Can I Make Someone Laugh Today game because it's low stakes, it's low pressure, and it makes other people feel good. And trust me, it makes you feel good too, making someone laugh. So you can play this out and about, whether it be going to the grocery store and picking up something and at the cash register, and you try to make the person laugh. Or if you're at work, you can use this in your day-to-day, trying to make someone in the office laugh by saying something or doing something. Now, you don't have to be a class clown. You don't have to do anything crazy, a juggling act, whatever it is. Just say something in the conversation that you think would be relatable to the other person, or just a funny tidbit that you learned that you might get a giggle out of. And then you've checked that off, you've accomplished your goal, and you won the game. Improv tip number 4 for gaining confidence in your office is making strong choices. So in improv, you learn to make strong choices. So let's think about yes and, for example. If you're playing yes and, you're listening to what the other person is saying. You're agreeing with them. This is happening. This is a real thing that's happening in this reality that's been created on stage. Now, how do you add on to this in a strong way? If someone says, I love cats, and then you say, I love cats, then you're just saying the same thing. You're not making a strong, bold choice that's going to move that conversation forward. Instead, you want to make a strong choice, like saying, I love cats. Yeah, my favorite are Persians. And then you can go on using that strong opinion, that strong choice. If you want to think about this from a character perspective, then you might bring in the strong choice of always having a conversation about Spock if you're into Star Trek. And then that's your strong choice that you're bringing into it. You're initiating with something that's very you. You're initiating with something that might not be accepted by everyone because they might be Star Wars fans. But bringing those strong choices can really help to make strong strides in your conversation. Because even if they're not into Star Trek, they might be into Star Wars, and you could have a lively debate that would have never happened if you didn't make that strong choice. Now, that brings me to my 5th and final way to have improv help you build confidence in the workplace. And that is practice. So when you hear improv, there's a tendency to think, oh, they didn't rehearse this at all. They didn't put anything into this. They're just experts. They're witty on the spot. They know exactly what to do. I can never do that. And that's completely false. You can do anything with a little practice. And trust me, even the best improvisers rehearse constantly to get the results that they want. And that confidence that you see on the stage and on TV. So what I recommend to you is taking an improv class, whether that be on Zoom, in person, acting, singing, whichever it is that's going to help you make those strong choices in person. Don't be discouraged if the first class you feel like you're exactly in the same place. because it does. Just like if you go to the gym and you work a muscle, you have to work it constantly to make sure that you're strong and ready for what comes ahead. If you'd like to practice your awesome improv skills and abilities to gain confidence in the workplace, go to thisisimprov.com and we have a variety of classes available for you. If you're worried about getting into a group right away at first, that's fine. We have private coaches that help you one-on-one get comfortable with improv and start to understand what's going on and how to use it in your life. Our private coaches help with stress management, business training, acting, and a variety of other skills that help you succeed. So take a look at This Is Improv for more information. You can also message us directly at info@thisisimprov.com for some more details on how improv can help you feel more confident. If you have anything that you'd like to learn, make sure to comment below so we know what to show you next. I can't wait for our next video. I can't wait to see you again with more business tips using improv. My name is Angelica Zadak with This Is Improv. This has been another episode of This Is Biz. Goodbye.